So if you're running an LLC, you have definitely seen this form before, the W-9. It looks pretty straightforward, but just one little mistake can end up delaying your payments. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to fill this thing out for your specific LLC step by step so you can get paid on time every single time.
You know, the whole thing really boils down to just one single piece of information about your business. It's the one question that splits the entire process into two completely different paths. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly what that question is and which path your LLC needs to take.
This video contains affiliate links. I have a relationship with the brands in this video and earn a referral fee when you shop through the links in the description below. Before we dive into exactly which boxes to check on your W-9, let's talk about your foundation. You absolutely cannot protect your personal assets or optimize your taxes if you're filling out tax forms as a sole proprietor. Most contractors just put their personal name and social security number on a W-9, and that is exactly why they expose themselves to massive liability and look unprofessional to bigger clients. Your business needs to be a legitimate, separate legal entity with its own employer identification number, INN. That's where Busy comes in. Busy is the absolute best service out there, handling your entire LLC formation for just $0 plus state fees. They take care of all the heavy lifting for you, filing your articles of organization, providing your registered agent service, and securing the exact EIN you need to fill out this W-9 correctly. This is non-negotiable if you want to get paid safely. Use my link in the description below to get your LLC set up right through Busy today and unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Get that handled first.
All right, so why all the fuss over one little form, right? Let's dig into what the W-9 actually does and, more importantly, what happens when it goes wrong. Think of the W-9 as basically a communication tool. It's how you hand over your official taxpayer info, your name, your address, and your taxpayer identification number, or what they call a TIN. The person paying you then uses all that info to report to the IRS how much they paid you during the year. And here's the kicker. This is what happens if you get it wrong. If you don't hand over a W-9, or if the information on it is incorrect, the payer is actually required by the IRS to do something called backup withholding. And that means they hold back a chunk of your money and send it straight to the IRS instead. And we're not talking about a small amount here. It's a flat 24%, right off the top of your payment. This isn't some optional penalty, it's mandatory. So getting that W-9 right from the get-go means you avoid a pretty significant and immediate hit to your cash flow. Okay, so here it is. This is the big answer to that question from the beginning. The single most important thing that dictates how you fill out a W-9 for your LLC is its federal tax classification. That's it. So the whole thing comes down to how the IRS sees your business for tax purposes. If you're a single-member LLC, you're usually what's called a disregarded entity, which just means for tax purposes, the IRS basically sees you and the business as the same thing. But if your LLC has multiple members or you've elected to be taxed as a corporation, the IRS treats it as a totally separate entity. And those two paths change absolutely everything about how you fill out this form. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to walk through exactly how to fill out the form for both of those scenarios. And we'll start with the most common one, the single-member LLC.
So if you're a disregarded entity, everything follows the owner. That's you. Your personal name goes on line 1, then the LLC's name goes on line 2. You'll check the box that says individual, sole proprietor, or single member LLC. And this is the part people get wrong. In part I, you use your own social security number, not the business's EIN, even if you have one.
Okay, let's take a look at a real example here. See how John Anderson's personal name is right there on line 1, but his business name is on line 2? The first box is checked, and most importantly, down in part I, that's his personal social security number. The tax identity follows the owner.
All right, now let's switch gears and look at the other path. If your LLC is taxed as a partnership or a corporation, the business's identity is what matters. The LLC's legal name goes on line 1. You'll check the limited liability company box, and this is huge, you have to write in its tax status. That's a C for a C Corp, S for an S Corp, or P for a partnership. Then in part 1, you use the LLC's employer identification number, or EIN. And here's what that looks like in practice. ABC Vendor LLC is on line 1. The limited liability company box is checked, and you can see that little C written in, showing it's taxed as a C Corp, and the tax ID is the business's EIN. See? Totally different from the first example. Now, a quick heads up. Sometimes just filling out the form isn't quite enough. Depending on your LLC, the person asking for the W-9 might also want a supporting document from the IRS just to prove your stats. So on the left, you've got your standard EIN assignment letter. This just proves you have a tax ID. But on the right, that's an acceptance letter. That's the one that proves the IRS has officially recognized your choice to be taxed as a corporation or partnership. They look similar, but they do very different things, so it's really important to have the right one handy if a client asks for it. All right, let's do a quick fire round of the biggest mistakes people make. You definitely want to avoid these because they're what cause all the delays and penalties. First up, use the newest form. They updated it in March 2024, so make sure you have that one. Number 2, get that W-9 before a single dollar leaves your account. Third, get the tax ID right. Owner's Social Security for single-member LLCs, business EIN for the others. Fourth, be smart about storing these. They've got sensitive info, so don't just leave them sitting in your email. And finally, double check that the name and number match exactly what the IRS has. Otherwise, you're going to get a notice. Okay, so after all of that, what's the one thing you really, really need to walk away with? Well, it all goes back to that very first question we talked about. This is it. This is the golden rule. Are you a disregarded entity, or are you a partnership or corporation in the eyes of the IRS? Once you have the answer to that question, the rest of the form just falls right into place. So why is this such a big deal? Because that W-9 is the very foundation for all of your 1099 reporting. Getting it right, make sure your tax filings are spot on, you get your payments without a hitch, and, just avoid all those headaches and costly penalties. So maybe take a minute after this, double check your LLC's tax status, get the right documents ready to go. Because being prepared means that the next time someone asks for a W-9, you can handle it with total confidence, knowing you're getting it exactly right.